Hello everyone and welcome, and today we're changing the 306 gearbox mount. This one here is actually technically the 307 gearbox mount, despite them being the same thing. In the aftermarket world, in the official Peugeot world, they are two different part numbers. So, coming with this also, it doesn't come with it, but with it you also need the spacer. And I've changed this gearbox mount a couple of years back, and I felt that spacer. It doesn't really do much. You can see here it doesn't. It just sort of it's there. It doesn't space anything. It's wobbling around. I thought maybe there's an issue with this. So I popped into Peugeot and I looked at the diagram and I saw something different. Okay, so first thing you'll notice at the very bottom, you'll see this is drawn in 2013, which is way later than the cars produced. It ended in 2002. So you'll see here the spacer here, number 18. You'll see that it tapers and looks way nicer for a spacer. So I ordered that, and I just got the same thing again. So so clearly something was going on. So clearly something had happened between 2002 and 2013. So it got me thinking, because this is technically a 307 gearbox mount too. Why not have a look at the 307? So here is the 307 mount there, and you'll see that's a much better space than that one. It tapers at the bottom, so it actually spaces out the mount, and it's actually smaller on the inside, so it hugs the bolt. So it's literally perfect. It couldn't. I don't actually understand how the first one got approved, but they're the same height. They're literally perfect. Yeah, let's shove it. No, you'll see it inside now. Like, I don't want to push it in too far because I don't want to get it stuck in there because it's like proper. Yeah. It is actually a proper spacer. You can see here as well. It's perfectly the same size as a hole. Yeah, that's the upgrade. That's what's happening. And before I go too far, these are the part numbers for both parts. This is a 181429 and a 184468 for the mount itself. Like I said, the mount itself, you can just put an aftermarket one in. I think they're the same. I just wanted to be doubly sure that it was going to fit. The other two things you're going to need are the spacer with the cutout in it and a new nut. My new one was actually a lot longer than the old one, and I wonder if at some point, maybe during a clutch change or something, that someone had switched them. Because again, the washer also wasn't the same either. So important to get them both, just in case you don't have them. Alright, and here we go. I've been rambling for about 3 minutes, so sorry about that. This is the HDi engine. Let's start the job. The gearbox mount is underneath the battery here. But the first step is to get the undertray off, because we want to secure the gearbox with a jack. So it's 3 bolts at the front, 2 bolts at the back, and then you've got the 3 clips along the sides. That's if you still have an undertray. You might not, and you can skip that bit. Alright, next step is to jack up the gearbox. Now, I've placed it right sort of here. There's kind of like this flat point about there. I don't know if you can see that. Now, I'd recommend jacking it to the point where the suspension starts raising, just because once you undo that gearbox mount, it's going to drop. The next step is the battery, of course. You've got the easy bit with the positive. That's just on the plastic thing there. And the negative side is actually an 8mm to memory. And yeah, it was an 8mm, so that's good. A lot of these measurements are going to be different, just because of how old the car is, how old your car might be. Some of these bolts may have changed, so I'm not going to mention any more measurements from this point. But there you go. That just kind of wiggles off once you've loosened it. I probably should have loosened it a bit more, but yeah, it does come off. And took that away. And there you go. Next step is to get the little bolt down here. I always find this one a bit of a pain because you can lose it and then you get your fingers caught, and there it is down there, that one. That's the one you need to get out. Alright, and this is it with it loosened. I've just got to go grab it because apparently none of my tools are magnetic, so there it is. That's the bit there. You don't want to lose that. And then you also don't want to lose this little guy here that holds the battery in. Like that. There we are. Beautiful. And with that, the battery can come out and join the rest of the pile onto the side here. Alright, and with that out of the way, next step is to remove these 4 bolts here. One of these actually snapped on me when I put it all back together, but yeah, once they're gone. The next bit is also to get rid of the electrical wiring clips. So there's one here, and there's actually one just tucked under here, down there. Alright, and with all the wiring out the way, you're now free to eject it from the vehicle. Just like that, you can just join the pile of batteries and under trays. Alright, and we're on to the next stage. So here we've technically actually got 4 bolts, with a 5th one attaching to the air intake. You'll see here there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. With this 5th one attaching to the air intake, you can actually attach the one underneath, and for some reason I decided to just take the whole air intake out instead. Looking back on the footage, I don't think that was entirely necessary, so I'm just going to speed run the air intake extraction and we'll carry on. Okay, so we're going to disconnect the MAV sensor, like that. Lovely. We're going to undo the top hose thing. That's gone. We're going to get rid of the speed sensor. That's gone now. The throttle cable and the bolt and that, and it's gone. Alright, let's move on. Alright, we're back. We're back. So we've got 4 bolts to remove. They're removed now. Like I said, I reckon that 5th bolt could have just been removed and it would have disconnected from the entire air intake. But yeah, I didn't think of that or do that. So here we go. You just got to pull it out. Just be careful of the brake lines there. I think they're for the ABS. So just be careful of that. There's also a secret hidden wiring loom just under there. So watch that too. That needs popping through. Alright, and with that removed, we can now remove the tray, or it's not really a tray, I don't know what it is, it's a thing. It's removed, there you go, and now we have access to the gearbox mount. There it is. Oof, beautiful, look at it. Lovely. Alright, let's get to work. Alright, so we're going to remove the centre first. Now remember, make sure that your jack is actually holding your gearbox in place, because it will drop. And mine dropped probably like a centimetre or so, quite a bit actually. It's kind of frightening. But there it is. I managed to jack it back up into the hole like that. And it's important not to jack it up too much because obviously you want it to be level for the new one to go on. And it's just time to get rid of those 2 bolts, and I pull it away like that. And like I said, yeah, you don't want to jack it up too much because it will just go up into that hole. And you want to fit the new one, so yeah. Now remember, you've got the old spacer there as well. If it didn't come with the mount, then it'll be still on there like that. There's my old one. Now, as this whole process was actually sort of an experiment for me, literally I don't think anyone online has mentioned this, so I didn't know if it was even going to work. But I thought I'd test fit the new spacer. You can see there it just snugly fits the bolt at the top and at the bottom. It's lovely, and it goes inside there like that. Lovely. So after checking I hadn't just wasted 100 quid on a YouTube video, I thought we should probably put all that together for the jack fails or something. So we're going to mount it back up. I very sort of briefly just held that there for a minute, and we got to go find the torque settings. The torque settings here aren't totally clear as to what they are. So I've gone for the mounting to bracket bolts at 30, and then I've gone for the setting at 65. I feel like they're the safest options because they're the highest. But there we go. So sticking it all back together, obviously don't forget your washer. That's very important with the cutout as well. The cutout actually just fits nice and smoothly on there. And your new nut. And that's it. That's the whole process, really. After that, it's all just, well, talking it up and putting it all back together. And there we have it. I hope you have enjoyed. It's been a bit of a experience, bit of a little fun little test thing for me. And I hope to see you all next time. That's yeah, that's it. It's all fitted. It's just got to put it all back together now. I'll see you all then. Bye.